March 2nd, 1977. On this night, Jay Leno made his debut on The Tonight Show with Mr. Carson. I still watch that show on a regular basis every night on Antenna TV. I wanted to take a little time to thank Jay Leno. Why? I'm going to share a story with you. Late 70s, Ciro's Top of the Mall, a high-end restaurant with fine linen, and china, where people got dressed up and went out and celebrated on the weekends. And it was the height of the steel industry in Beaver County. Lots of people working middle-class jobs. And there was that thing called disposable income, to where people really worked hard, but they played hard too. So Mr. Henry Mancini, the legend of West Aliquippa, was in town to perform at the beautiful Community College Golden Dome. Big deal, big night. Lots of folks out and looking for a place to have dinner after the show. Why, of course, just down the road, it was Ciro's Top of the Mall. And one of my many mentors, Joe Ciro, said, "Look, Rob, it's up to you. Handle Mr. Mancini. And by the way, there's a gentleman who's with their party sitting in that back booth. Take care of him." So I did. And it was a great night. And believe me, back then, I could work pretty much around the clock. And as I was waiting on this gentleman in the back booth, he didn't say much, but he was one of the coolest guys I had ever seen. Long hair, leather vest, and it seemed as though he had to have a Harley Davidson or a fast car somewhere because he just fit the bill. He was a man of few words, but he was so gracious at the end of the night to give a 19-year-old a $20 tip. And I never forgot that. And I also found out that that young man had opened for Henry Mancini earlier, his name Jay Leno. I've always admired Mr. Leno from afar, and I always thought to myself that this would be my destiny, even during some of the early years when I struggled trying to make ends meet. Hey, I met Jay Leno, the stars were aligned. It's in my destiny to be an entertainer. Well, things have worked out pretty good for me, but they've worked out really good for him. Why? Flat out, he's just good people. And I still watch him when I can on Jay Leno's Garage on CNBC. So Mr. Leno, big night for you to look back to March 2nd, 1977, when Mr. Carson said, "Here's Jay Leno." And let me say here's to you for that night here in Beaver County that I will never, ever forget.